Hey Dreamers Unite, I'll be playing a song for you.
Talking all things entertainment, this is Sherri Pullum in the studio with Dreamers Unite. Breaking musical barriers with pianist, composer, and musical producer Rahul Suntah. Hey Dreamers, and welcome to Dreamers Unite in the studio. Thank you so much. I am always grateful every time you come to spend time with me. Well, you know that this is a podcast where we dream, share, and manifest. And we do that through our brilliant guests that we have on this show, dream games, and so much more. We will spare no expense for you to reach those goals and dreams. Well, today I am so excited. You have no idea. I'm a huge fan. I found this young man on IG playing the piano like you would not believe. It's a sound, well, many of you may be familiar with him because he has thousands of followers and millions of views. His name is Rahul Suntah. And I am just honored and thrilled to bring this brilliant pianist, composer, music producer to the stage, to Dreamers Unite here. And he is in London. This is really his kind of debut interview in America. So we are so honored. We're going to take a deep dive, learn more about his journey, his dreams. And one of the dreams that I'm now committed to help manifest for him is to bring him to New York. Hear that? New York. New York, we're calling you. Rahul Suntah, coming to New York to play. Raul, without further ado, I want our audience to meet you. So welcome to Dreamers Unite in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's great.
You are very welcome. Well, we had such a great conversation offline. So I want to just start with, how did this all start, Raul? How did you know that you had this incredible talent? Like, I know you've been playing since you were 8.
Yeah.
I think you were playing in utero personally, but that's just me, the way you play the piano here. But how did you discover this gift?
Well, it literally started when I was going to say, I was going to start like that. It started when I was 8. So my mom enrolled me for piano lessons in this music conservatory from not far from where I live in Mauritius. And yeah, at first I was just really, I wasn't even into it. My mom just like, you have to play the piano, you have to learn music. And apparently they thought I was going to be good at it. And my first goal was to learn how to play Four Leaves by Beethoven. But yeah, since then it escalated a lot. Yeah.
Wow. How long did it take you to learn for Elise? I used to play the piano just a little bit, and I had to listen, Raul, nothing like you play, but I think piano and moms, they want you to start an instrument, right? So how long did it take you? You probably learned it in a day.
Not in a day, but in less than a year for sure. I was actually I was very impatient. So they were starting with the basics, but I just wanted to learn how to play four lays, and then I learned it by myself at home, and then I showed them at the conservatory, and they were really like, wow,
Wow.
impressed. And yeah, it was good times.
That's amazing. So how did you come about because we talked about this, you're really cutting edge, and you really talked about you want to break boundaries and barriers in the music industry and with your, playing piano. So you have a launch pad, you bring technology, you're beating on the piano, you're playing the strings inside, you're doing so much. How did all that come about?
Yeah, that came about. I always say this. Well, this one video that changed, like, practically changed my life. I saw this video by the Piano guys. I don't know if you guys know about them. They are a very popular like crossover band from the US actually. They made this video, a very crazy video of them playing a cover. I think it was a One Direction cover with just the piano, and there were like five guys around the piano just doing all sorts of different sounds with it. And I remember when I saw that, I was absolutely blown away. I was like, what, a piano can do all that? That's crazy. And then yeah, that's how it started. I became really curious and I was experimenting on my home piano. I was like, I started like opening my piano, and my mom sometimes would get like annoyed because I wouldn't put it back on. And then yeah, that's how it started. And yeah, I the idea for the technology bit, it came when I was going to university. So like at that back then in my first year of university, I was actually very much into DJing and shit and like production. So that's when I discovered looping, and I bought this launch pad because I was making my own beats, and I thought, why not blend like the piano and the technology and try to do something unique with that. And I remember the first cover I made was like this cover of I the Tiger by Survivor. And yeah, this is the first time I did this, and like it attracted so much attention that I never stopped. Yeah.
What made you start putting your content, your videos online on, IG and social media and all of that?
Um, well, at first I was posting on YouTube. That's where I would first start. I was like 13, but I just wanted to like share my talent with the world. I discovered YouTube. I was like, why not share it? And then Instagram, I discovered Instagram when I was in university, and that's yeah. I was just doing it because it was like a hobby really. I just wanted to share my playing. People loved it, and then yeah, it just kind of grew from there. Really. Yeah,
It's so
and then
amazing.
the ideas just came. Yeah,
It's so amazing that you talked about this is a hobby and you're so brilliant and so gifted at what
yeah,
you do. Um, so we want to take a look at your brilliance on playing this piano because I'm telling you, that's how I found Raul actually. And I just reached out and said, I'm a huge fan already. Would you come on the show? And he reached back out, and then the rest is history. And I hope that we will share definitely a long time connection because, again, one of my missions is to what? Bring you here to New York. And then you're going to do
sure.
what? Bring Dreamers Unite to London because that's where he is now. So I'm excited.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So let's take a look at one of your videos, which is a piano cover, which you post many, many of those on
Yeah.
YouTube and IG. So let's take a look at that. So, what made you start doing the piano covers? And then, of course, you played with that brilliant Prodigy in Cape Town, South
Yeah.
Africa. How did all that come about?
Yeah, that was a very fun opportunity. My actually it started with my manager. He saw a video of the girl on online. Well, actually, the girl went viral on online on the internet, and he sent me a video of her playing. And he was like, "This girl is 9 years old, and she's self-taught, and she was playing like a Celine Dion uh, song." I was really impressed. I thought that was really impressive because like she could play by ear at such a young age. Because I don't think I was doing that back at that age. So yeah, I was very impressed, and we wanted to reach out to her to give her an opportunity. Uh, you can join us for a duet, and we invited her to join me on a duet for one of my original compositions, which is called Homebound. So we recorded the duet over Zoom actually. Um, so I showed her. I did a couple of Zoom sessions first to show her how to play. So we're playing as a duet. So I had to show her her part, what to play on the piano. And interestingly, very impressingly, she picked up really fast, and in just 2 sessions, she was able to play the whole thing. And then we recorded it, and yeah, we posted it, and it caught a lot of attention. I think I don't know if you know if Viola Davis shared the video. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and Viola Davis, she always catches such great
Yeah.
videos of people and sharing. Thank you, Viola Davis. A little heart for you. And shout out. No, she's incredible. And at
Yeah.
9, you just gave me goosebumps. And she plays completely by ear. So she's 100% self taught, basically, right?
Yeah. So that was very impressive for me as well. Yeah.
Wow. And so you're also self taught as well. Like you did some training. I think
Yeah.
you studied in Mauritius with one of the most brilliant teachers right there.
Yeah. 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 So I did 7. So I studied music for 7 years, but I didn't complete the whole thing because unfortunately I thought that the I didn't really enjoy the system as such. Unfortunately, it was a bit too traditional, a bit too classical. I really like classical music, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to stay in I didn't want to become a classical pianist. That was not for me. So I stopped at one point because I no longer enjoyed it really, and I started to like learn my things by myself at home. I started to like learn jazz, pop, all different styles and genres that really appealed to me. And yeah, so like after the 7 years, I was mostly self-taught and just learning things on the internet. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about how you infuse classical with jazz, with R&B, with funk and rock and all of it. What inspired you to do that?
Well, it's mostly because of the songs I was listening that I really loved. So I'm a huge fan of pop music as well, and all the genres you just listed. And I just wanted to make those covers on the piano, but make them sound as dynamic as the original song itself. So I just wanted to like blend these two worlds because I'm classically trained, but I feel like there's always been some sort of division between like classical musicians and pop musicians, which I thought is ridiculous, really. And I wanted to like blend these two, and that's how I started making these covers and like blending both of these worlds, really. Because if you look at my covers, you can see that I'm classically trained, but I'm also like adapting it to like pop and all these other modern songs as well. Yeah, like you said, I'm trying to break the boundaries between these two worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, and you are breaking the boundaries so brilliantly and beautifully. And it's so inspiring. And speaking of inspiring, this is Dreamers Unite after all. So a little inspiration for, our dreamers out there, maybe a young pianist who wants to play, doesn't know where to start, or maybe just a young musician or anyone with a dream in their heart, and following that. What kind of offering maybe can you give someone?
Um, I would I would say maybe try to find something very weird and different and unique. Just like the what I do with the piano. Probably some people think that's really weird, but it's what sets it apart, what makes it different. So just find something that's really unique and makes you stand out. And then, yeah, in terms of growing a following, I would say I had to learn this the hard way, but over the years of trying to grow a following, I discovered that. So I'm a huge perfectionist, which is kind of like a blessing and a curse as well. But back then, 5 years ago, I used to like take ages to make my covers and videos, but it wasn't really working in my favor, unfortunately. So I feel like you need to find a balance between creating really high quality content and consistently and with a lot of quantity as well. Like you need to find balance. But for me, I personally believe if you're an artist or a performer, you should make the quality your priority. Yeah, and just post consistently and learn about social media for sure, because this is going to be what's going to help you. One of your biggest help in making yourself, getting discovered, getting your music out there and market yourself as an artist. Yeah.
Right. And really take control over your own career in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, yeah. And don't worry about, because I used to think you have to be signed by a label or something like that when I was really young. I thought I wouldn't make it if I didn't do that, but that's definitely not true. You can definitely do anything yourself, and you just gotta learn how it works. Uh, it took me about 5 years, okay, about 5 years of trial and error to get where I am really. I was just really learning how to market myself as an artist. Because before my manager, I was practically independent for like 5 years, and then I got a manager, who is really helping me as well, definitely. But you don't need all that at first, definitely.
Yeah.
I think platforms like TikTok and Instagram are your biggest help. Yeah,
Yeah. And YouTube too, right? Because you
yeah,
started out there.
YouTube, but YouTube is a little bit outdated, I would say now. Unfortunately, it's not very as it used to be big before, but it's not as big as Instagram and TikTok. Because this is where my Instagram is where I kind of like broke through, I guess. That's where I get the most following. Yeah,
Yeah, you have over 40,000 followers on
yeah,
IG and counting and growing and
yeah,
millions of views. So, what was that like for you to discover suddenly you have millions of views? Was that exciting for you?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was very satisfying. But yeah, obviously, I don't think we should care about the numbers as such. But it's good. When you're starting out, you should never care about numbers because you're just gonna. I think it's gonna hold you back because you're gonna not gonna. I guess you're not gonna be satisfied. Um, sorry, not satisfied. I just feel like it's gonna hold you back. That's it, really. But you should never care about the numbers first. But when it starts happening, you'll know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and then
exciting.
you try to find different ways to break through. Yeah,
You know what I like that you said? Don't focus on the numbers at first. Okay,
yeah,
this is a nugget moment, people. Okay, so you don't know this,
yeah,
Raul, but we catch a lot of nuggets on this show from my guests. I catch them and I throw them out to our dreamers. And I think what you're saying is, you know what? Just do it for the love of doing it. Do it for
yeah,
creating really great content. Satisfy yourself as you're this content creator and do what you love, and the people will come
yeah.
eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. It might not be a month or whatever, but inch by inch, it will happen and they will come as long as you're staying true to yourself and being authentic. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the nugget I'm catching from you from the screen. Boom. There you go, dreamers. Throwing it out to you. So, Raul, you didn't know that I catch these nuggets and I actually throw them out. So,
No, I didn't know about that.
yeah, yeah. So they just caught that huge nugget from you because that is really valuable. So one last
Yeah.
question before we shift into, we have someone that's going to call, that's called in and or sent in a question for you. Is you talked about, you know, this sort of balance on social media, right, with content creating, right, not being overly perfect, but knowing how to create content and balancing it out. So how do you balance your life? Because I know you have a busy schedule. I'm sure you do, and with a lot going on. And what's the way that you take care of yourself, your self care practice?
Mm, self-care. You mean like physically?
Well, just emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, is there a way, how do you balance your life?
Right.
How do
Okay.
you personally stay balanced?
I don't know well, I don't really talk about this, but I feel like I started going to the gym since last year. I feel like that has made me feel better. It makes me feel a lot better and also a lot more disciplined. So I feel like this is helping me a lot in like you say, staying balance and stuff like that. But yeah, well, for me, the piano and the gym is kind of my therapy, really. So yeah, that's how I keep myself sane and yeah, healthy physically and emotionally. Well, the piano is here for me, really. I listen to a lot of music, um, but the music is part of me now, like full time. So I think it's probably one of the best things for me, really, because I'm already an artist anyway. But yeah, um, yeah. I think that's is that what you were? Sorry, is that what you
Yeah,
were?
yeah. I was just looking, that's the way you stay balanced. And you stay,
Yeah.
as long as you're happy and you're still finding time to take care of yourself. I mean, it's those times as artists, as entrepreneurs, as artpreneurs, like anything else, it does become, it is work, right? And we love it, but it is work. And sometimes we have to find, for me, I find balance in breathing and meditating and prayer. And, I like to go to the gym too when I can, and try to eat right to take care of your body, your
All right.
instrument.
Yeah. You
So,
part as well.
yeah, right. So I'm always curious how someone takes
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
of themselves to stay balanced. Yeah. So your music, you love it. And so that's what you do. You still pour into that. It's an extension of you. It is an extension of who you
I
are.
guess I also try to like separate the times when I'm serious about, you know, make the music thing and when I'm not. Like I think you need to have both of them. So like sometimes you should play just for your own pleasure to just to like, you know, um, just as a hobby, just because you love it. And then when it comes to time, you have to focus on it as a serious thing. But you don't have to constantly doing it as a serious thing. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I get that.
So just keep some time, like, just keep some time to for your own pleasure. Yeah. Don't care about anyone. Don't care about having to please other people. Just play for yourself. That's really important, I think.
I agree with that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Nugget number two, just do things for you. Just do
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
for you. That's from Raul Suntah.
Because you need to because you need to look after yourself before you can, pour yourself to other people. Self-care. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Raul, you didn't think you had it, but see, you know what I always say? Just what you said. You can't pour from an empty cup. You have
Yeah,
to take
exactly.
care of
That's what
you
I'm trying to
first.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raul, my goodness, I learned so much about you and your journey. And I know all your followers and fans, and I'm certainly a major one, are so appreciative that they've learned more about you and your journey. And I thank you for that. But we're not done with you yet because we have a question for you to answer. So, up next is our question for Raul. All righty, we are back and we are ready for a question for Raul. Raul, you ready?
Yep.
All right,
Sure, let's go.
yeah. You were born ready.
My name is Mikhail Cannon. Um, so I was in band in all throughout high school, middle school, and even elementary school, and I played the clarinet. And I would try out for things such as like all county. Um, and when you have an audition like that, it was always a struggle for me not to be nervous, and my hands would be like really shaky, and my breath would be like really um, like sparse and unstable. And even though you play piano, I guess you can relate you might can relate to like the hand shakiness and stuff like that. So how do you sort of get over that nervousness, that anxiety, when you're playing for someone?
That is a great question. Thank you so much, Mikkel, for your question. Okay, Raul, take it away.
Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that because I had lots of anxiety before starting to perform live. Um, that's actually, which is kind of funny because when I was learning the piano at conservatory, they usually do concerts, but I hated it because I had so much performance anxiety, and I actually thought at that point the piano was not for me, which is really funny. But yeah, I just had to get used to it. Really, I think what has really improved this problem. I always someone told me about breathing techniques. So you should really like when you before you're going to play, if whether it's a concert for people or for an audition, just breathe out, just breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. So that would help you manage your anxiety before the performance. But really, it's just you just gotta remember that they're not here to judge you as such, and just give out your best, and just forget that they're there and just play for yourself. That's what I do in concerts now. I just try to forget that they're there and just I play for me on the stage. And but definitely the breathing first. If you're having anxiety before the show, just breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. Yeah, just just keep reminding yourself that everything is gonna be all right. Yeah,
That is
yeah. I think that's
that is oh, some just top-notch advice right there. Breathing, connecting
yeah.
to breath, as an actor and perform, even doing this show, right? Just take a deep breath when you start feeling anxious, and not just performing, but just in life in general.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always say to
Even in
people,
general.
one thing about breath connection, is it's free. Your breath is free. I'm sure if people could
Just
find a way to bottle it and make some money off of you not being able to take a breath for free, somebody would try to do it, right? But it is free and it's available to you 24/7. So, Mikkel, I hope that Raul answered your question, and that you will actually take that offering and that huge nugget and you will apply it to your life, not just when you're performing, but again, whenever you get nervous or whenever you feel anxious, right, Raul?
yeah. Even the breathing also helps. The breathing also helps for your fingers. He mentioned having shaky hands. If he applies that breathing technique, it's gonna make your hand much more steadier. Definitely.
Oh, that's
That yeah,
good. Oh, that's good. No shaky hands. Yeah, that's
yeah,
even
yeah.
as someone holding a mic, right? Sometimes it's this. So remember to just
Mhm.
connect to your breath. I also love the fact that you said, just do it for you. Once again, it comes back to that, right? Just know
Yeah.
that you're doing it for the joy and the love of what you do. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right. It is time for the dream game. Next. All right, we are back, and it is time to play the dream game with Raul. Raul, it's dream game time.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, listen, you talked about being a child and playing at 8, and at first, you weren't really connected to the piano. Your mom was like, "You're going to play an instrument." Well, do you
Yeah,
feel like, are you living your childhood dream? Was this your dream?
yeah. At some point, it was actually yeah. When I started learning the piano, like in the first few years, I kind of imagined myself playing in concert and just being an artist and a pianist. But it lasted for just a few years, unfortunately. And then like every other kid, I just have other dreams as well that I started fantasizing about. But that was definitely one of my very first one. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. What is your greatest inspiration, or who is your greatest inspiration?
Um, that's a difficult one. so many people that inspires me. I would say definitely uh, old composers like Beethoven. I really look up to Beethoven, Chopin as well, who is really inspiring me at the moment. Uh, Michael Jackson, which is a newer artist, obviously, um, from our generation, kind of. Michael Jackson, some composers like Hans Zimmer, I really look up to. Yeah, uh, the piano guys, I should mention them. The piano guys, yeah, really, there's so many artists, really.
So, what inspires you though to do the
Yeah,
sounds and the techniques and to with the piano and to make, like you said, wow, the piano can do all of that? What inspires you to make that piano talk, sing, almost walk and dance, really? What inspires you to do that?
yeah. I was just really motivated. I was just very motivated to. Well, I basically wanted to show that the piano is much more than just a simple, especially the acoustic piano I'm talking about. Yeah, I just wanted to show that the piano is much more than a simple classical instrument, and you can do so much more with that. Because I feel like people when they think of the acoustic piano, they associate it with just classical music, just the keyboard and stuff like that. But I just wanted to prove that you can do so much more than that. You can be a fun artist, creative, and just do just make the piano its band itself, and you can be your own one man band and just make beautiful music. What's also really cool about that is that when you do all these different sounds with the piano, that's that's imitating of instruments. You actually get you actually get newer possibilities of sound. It doesn't it's much more unique. It sounds much more unique and different, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
It is really cool. And I want you to continue to, I can't wait to see where you're going to go and grow with all of this. So continue on. Okay, a couple more questions for you in our dream game. So listen, dreaming is really wonderful, but we also know that it's a process and it's a journey and it's not all good. So, what's one of your most challenging times that you've gone through and how did you overcome it? Because, we all need to be inspired to be able to overcome challenges. So, what was one of your most, prominent challenges and how did you overcome that?
Yeah. One of the challenges, I think I would say during COVID, um, that was a bit challenging for me because I had to go back to Mauritius. I had just finished I had just finished my undergraduate. Back at that time, the UK visas and then all the kind of stuff was really bad. It was just it's just not in your favor for international people. So I was forced to go back to Mauritius. Then the COVID happened at the worst time. I thought I was going to be stuck in Mauritius forever, and that was a pretty challenging time. So I didn't know what I was going to do really. I thought it was over. But yeah, I just kept making videos in my home piano, which didn't stop me from getting my music out there. And then the only way for me to come back here was to do a master's, and obviously that was also very difficult because it can be expensive. Uh, so I had to put all my chances. I applied for a scholarship, and I was really lucky I could get one to come back here. Although it wasn't very convenient because there was still COVID even when I did my masters, but I was able to come back here and get all these opportunities that I would probably never have had if I was still in Mauritius. Yeah.
So you kept
Yeah.
going, right? I mean, how you overcame
Yeah.
it was you really just kept going and you started thinking outside the box, being creative, and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Never back down. Yeah, just keep pushing. It's not, yeah. Sometimes you experience like some disappointments, but you just have to keep going and just remember that things will work in your favor because you're probably meant for that anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
But I just thought it was just temporary, and yeah, I just kept moving. Yeah, just hope for the best.
Yeah, I love what you just said. Okay, it was just temporary. Remember the moments that you're going through, it's temporary, right? My grandmother used to
Yeah,
say,
yeah, definitely.
like, this too shall pass. Not just my grandmother, but a lot of our ancestors now, right?
Yeah.
Who've gone on used to say all the time, this too shall pass. So, Raul, if you were to get your Dreamers Unite award, and you're going to receive many, many awards, one day we're going to have a Dreamers Unite award on the show. But if you were to receive one, I think gratitude is so important. Who would you like to thank? So you can thank people who've been with you on this journey now. Who would you like to thank?
Uh, um, well, definitely my parents. They have really supported me because one of the things is what could have been challenging for me is the parents can get in your way sometimes, but my parents were definitely not like that, which I really appreciate. And they were very, very supportive from the beginning of me deciding to go in that career path. So that was I would have to thank both my mom and my dad. I would have to thank my manager, who's been helping me a lot since last year. Yeah, and all my friends, my close friends, they know who they are, who who are still believing in me, um, who are encouraging me to keep going.
That is beautiful. Well, now you've thanked them. So listen,
Yeah, thank you.
that is gratitude is a gift, not only for ourselves, but for others. So thank you for thanking all the important people in your life. Yeah. Okay. One last question. This is a community where we like to affirm um, the dreams of all of our guests, right? So, what's on the horizon for you? I know coming to New York, we're going to work on that together. We're going to work on that. But what's on the
Yeah.
horizon? What's next? What's a big dream of yours that we can affirm with you?
Um, sorry, you mean next, like soon, or next in the future, like my dream?
Wherever, next in the future, what's your dream? It could be,
Uh,
I want to play piano on the moon. I don't know. What? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
You got excited about that. Maybe that's, no, really,
Well, yeah.
what's your dream?
Well, my dream would be to be able to make a tour and just perform in like different countries, share my music all around the world. I think it's a dream of probably every artist, but this is what works. What's true for me at the moment as well. Uh, I I'd love to I'd love to play in some very big concert halls like Royal Albert Hall in the UK or Carnegie Hall in the US. Sure, if I could do that, that was crazy. Uh, yeah, and I guess selling out tickets really fast as well is like a challenge, but it's also like a one of my ambitions. Because I think I feel like I would have made it really if I could like put on a show on the internet and it just sells out. That is really cool.
Yes. And you know what? We're claiming it, we're affirming it with you that you will have that concert tour, sold out tickets, playing in the biggest halls all around the world. We're envisioning it, we're claiming it for you, and we see it for you because we know that it is possible.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. And then you're going to come on Dreamers and tell us how you did it. You're going to come and share again with us.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so how can people get in touch with you? How can people reach you?
Uh, um, so Instagram definitely at Rahul.Suntah. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, just type my name, Rahul Suntah. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Rahul Suntah, the one and only that we have had the privilege, the opportunity, and the honor I have. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, for
Thank you
meeting
so much for
you.
inviting me. Ah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah.
Oh, anytime. Well, this is just the first. Believe you me, we are going to be back together again. I am going to definitely be seeing you right here in New York City, and you will be seeing me in London. We are going to claim that. Before we go, we wanted to give one last little shout out to Rebecca. What's her last name? The incredible Prodigy
Yeah,
pianist in South Africa.
Rebecca Rebecca Siziba. Yeah,
Rebecca Sisiba. Here's a little heart for you. And we hope maybe one day you'll come on Dreamers. Yeah.
yeah. You should invite her. Yeah,
I'm already inviting you, Rebecca. This is your invitation. We're going to invite you formally, but right now this is a little invite. Raul, again, I can't thank you enough really for your time. It's been a privilege and an honor. Well, dreamers, listen, I know that this time has come for us to end at least this conversation with Raul. I know all good things must come to an end, but you know what? There's also a new beginning where we'll have another episode for you. So listen, also subscribe, follow us. You know, we also need your support too, right, Raul?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're nothing without the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are something, but we still need you, audience. We need you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he means. We need your support. So again, thank you so much, dreamers. And I will see you again next time right here in the studio with Dreamers Unite.